By working with AI generated images, photography, or any other work, sometimes you just need upscale, and I love to use it. Gigapixels. This is solid, nice tool. Surfing for many years, it's good. And shortly come to my attention the new tool on the market. It's supposed to be this magnificent tool that utilizing new AI technology, and it's better than any upscale tool. I'm very skeptical when it's come to this. So I decide to test this in multiple levels and bring to you answer. Does that tool work? And I understand the Gigapixel is not a free tool. So it's actually in Photoshop, Upscale, or other things. But you know what? Magnificent, which is called Magnific, it's even more expensive. So how much it's more expensive? Let's look right here. This is our Topaz Gigapixels, which cost about $99, and you can buy you can buy once and use it forever. Yes, sometimes it was on sale, you can find cheaper. Again, you pay once and you own the software, so you can do it. When we come to Magnific, I think it's Magnifical. So this is, if you look on cheapest versions, it's come with $40 per month. Wow. It is expensive. If you think about this, it's expensive. If your Photoshop costs $10 a month, this is a little bit more. You can buy all suite a month just to do this. But here's a question. Does it worth it? And if it's worth it, to whom it's actually targeting? Notice right here, $99 per month. I'm seriously, the price is like, ouch. But you know what? I'm going to run through all of this stuff to try and find, does it really worth this price? And most important, does it a top-notch tool? So let's look first. It is not plugin. It doesn't need to require Photoshop or anything. It's standalone online service. So it's meaning you do require some of the online access, so you can upload it, images, and do all this stuff. It does online processing, which is kind of nice because it's meaning you don't need to have a very powerful graphic card on your computer. Most of those applications like Topaz, of course Photoshop and other ones, they require better GPUs and better processing power, so they can perform this because they're done on local machine. This does not require this. Okay, let's see what I done. In the Photoshop, I have an image, and this is the original image I created. I took next this image and shrink, make it smaller, and you can see it's become and expand. So technically, I says, this is my original image. Let's go make it smaller, expand, lose quality, make more blur. And then when it's rendered, I can compare this image to another image. So when I done this for the portraits, I done for different settings, hard ones. I also done for the landscapes, and I actually done for some very horrible landscape. You can see right here. We'll see how it will restore and how it can work. And you know what? I done even way more. I was burning to the credits like crazy. And by the way, the credits, what I mean, it's a render credits with this application. So I run through them, be sure they check all the settings, and most important, do I understand how applications work? Because it's unfair if you don't know how applications work and you try to do, sometimes you may be misjudging something. And I want to be sure I'm fair to applications. Okay, let's start with this. And right here is the example, and you can see this is the original image. This is rendered with a Mid-Journey. And we have it several, we have it photos, and we have it AI render, and some vector graphics. So we can compare how it's work. Okay, if we look on this image, and you can see it's kind of nice created image. Next, what we want to do, it is Mid-Journey upscale, because inside the Mid-Journey you can upscale from 1024 or whatever side higher. Okay, and right here is Mid-Journey upscale. This was on creative upscale, but you can see, let's come closer, and you can see it did modify some scenery, but generic, it's will keeping somewhat similarity. The waterfall going down, and it does increase details. Okay, it did not bad job. Some leaves is modified. And in general, I will say I'll accept this type of scale. Again, this is was creative. You have it also subdial, which is keep it a little bit more closer. Okay, let's go ahead. Next, we'll turn this off and was upscale with the gigapixels. One thing Gigapixel does say it is utilizing some AI modules, but it's almost have it minimum alter the original image, which is kind of nice. And mostly when you work with portraits, I'll show you what I was meaning working with your portraits. Okay, let's go right here. We go closer and notice we have it details like in this area. Again, original and gigapixel. You can see it did add sharpness, add teeny tiny details, and also add some noise, but general it was keeping close enough. Right where we have it haze and fog, as well where we have it the depth of field blur, those ones will usually suffer the most because AI need to understand where's a blur, it's need to be blur or haze. In this case, you can see gigapixels, and again, this is default settings. It did apply a little bit more noise introduction, which is okay. It's not bad, but it still work very good. And it's very good upscale. How say compared to other ones, it did not produce any artifact, special pattern or anything. It's good. So let's go right now and check how is it our Magnificent does. And you can definitely from even now, you can see it is increased quite a bit sharpness. Let's come closer. And for example, right here, we can see we have a waterfall. And mostly look on this right in this area where we have the roots, okay, before and after. So it does keep it way nice shape. It's actually, I think it's did way better shape keeping versus Mid-Journey upscale. Overall, I think that is did a very good job. But it does apply like right here, plants. I took some creative approach. For those who are using Magnificent, you may say, hey, you have some settings there, so hold down a little bit. We'll touch some of the settings, and by the way, I will provide all of the settings important for you to go either way, so you can just copy and use them as you need it. Okay, and you can see right here, it did good job, and I will say I'll perform not bad. I think I like this actual Magnificent version the best so far, with some exceptions. For example, if you look on top, see there's a tree right here. If we uncheck, it's no tree, it's kind of far away. So it took some artistic, its own liberty on this to add some elements here. Okay, that is look good. Let's go next to this example. And here we have a portraits, as said before. This was original, you can see it's sharper, and because we scale and upscale, we'll lost some of the sharpness, so we can perform and see how it does. Okay, let's zoom out. And right here, we'll go first with gigapixel, and let's zoom in. And we're going again with the original and gigapixel, and you can see it's performed not bad. We have it a little bit lost in coloring, and I think it's in a way how it's saved. But generally, you can see it does perform not bad. Add little bit noise, kind of greenness on this, but it does not change any look. Let's go back. And let's keep it somewhat close to the original. Okay, let's look on Magnificent. And again, this is different settings. And to be fair, when I did this, I did not spend a lot more time with understanding some settings, which will be different result later in this video. So be sure you stick around to see what I did find out later about some of those settings. Okay, let's look right here. We have it our face, and most important, what I first when I started doing, I was disappointed because look on a face before and after. You see how the eyes changing? It's a change facial characteristic, and I'm not necessarily like this because in some cases it's take emotions and stuff away. Again, stick around, I'll show you some more examples of this. Okay, so right here, when you start adjusting more play, you can see a little bit better when you adjust different settings, But eyes change colors on eyes. And look on this, if we're going total wild with some settings, you can see it is completely change face. Okay, we can work with that. Next, let's go look on another example, and here same, we have it example. The reason is why I'm using, because we have a text on our objects. We also have it my signature down below here, and we'll have it gigapixels update right here. Let's go closer, and you can see it almost no different. It just makes sharper. Again, remember, I reduce it and put it on the original, so it's compared to the original. You can see almost no change. And here, when we did with Magnificent, again, it's changed a lot. Look on this, change text, change face, and everything. You know what? At this time when it's happened, I was like, no way, I'm doing something wrong with that tool, because some people are showing examples. Even on their website, if you look, and it's showing a little bit better than that examples. So something I did, probably don't know how to do. So in this case, I went back and I'm saying, okay, let's go over some changes and how we applied. Well, before we jump to this, let me go a little bit about interfacing, okay, how they work. If we look on Gigapixel, Gigapixel is very easy. You drop in image on your right side, you have it width, height, what you want set. You can set upscale how you want it. Easy select AI modes. The art line works, so straightforward as well. You have it options to reduce motion blur, reduce some JPEG artifacts and everything. And one thing what I do like about this, I can process multiple, so I can have a bunch of images just drop in, click process, and they're processing all of those images. So kind of nice about this. Okay, in Magnificent, you can process at least what I found, one image at the time. Okay, it could be work because you need to pay attention. But similar things what we have right here. We have options. First, upscale is what we're going to test, because you have it style transfer, but I'm more interested in upscale. It's what we tested. You have your upload image where you can just drag and drop or click and upload. Your scale factor, and the minimum is 2, and we can go up to 16, but not every image can go up to 16 because they are limited to 10,000 per 10,000. Maximum square resolution, so it means you can go maybe like 12,000, but you need to go to 8,000 and another side. So it's going per pixel calculations. Okay, so in many cases you want to do, but also if you notice, cost is changed. If you upscale like to 8 times, it's cost 80 tokens. And if we're going to 2, it's less. So the more CPU time, it's what you're paying. You're paying for using CPU time. Below we have it optimizations for different type of the portrait, soft, hard. You have it artwork, and this it does help. And I did test some of these, and it's okay. So you can select this prompts. Prompt is, you can put it what you want, like cyberpunk. It does help because it's AI based, so of course you need kind of prompt, but it's not required. In some cases I found actually not to put it prompt, it's worked very well. I wish they had also image interrogations or descriptions, like in for example in Midjourney, when you put it, an AI see what they actually see on this image, give you descriptions, so you can reuse here with some modifications. They don't have that one. Below we have it several slides. Creativity, it's how much freedom or liberty you give it to the AI to create what AI want to create. So if you reduction below 0, you have a strict more stay to the image. If you're going all the way to the 10, you give it a lot of stuff, which I don't recommend going to 10, and you'll see reason why, because we'll create some very weird stuff. I almost swear. Okay, anyway, yeah, very weird stuff. HDR, it's what Asa says. HDR, if you're familiar, is have a tone mapping, but it is simulated because it's not truly tone mapping. It just creates this kind of color. Again, wait for the examples on this. Resemblance, it's how close it resembles to original image. Fractality, it's add teeny tiny details to this, and we have a different engines. Currently, it's 3 different engines. And this is question mark will help for you if you need to know. And of course, first engine, Illusion, which is better for landscape, nature, remove some JPEGs. The sharpness, realistic image like photography, so work with this, sharpen more details, and sparkle, something between of them. Usually you can leave on automatic or click down and select. I mean, that almost all as a beginning you can do it. As you work with images, you'll notice on images you will have some additional options that you can rerun, create, and other things. As you create image, you can scroll up and down to preview. This image we saw before and after. You can hold the Z button if you need it, and kind of going preview on this case. Okay, that was our landscape, and it's what I expect, you know, on our kind of landscape image. Okay, after you're done, you can download image, you can rerun. As a rerun, you can use parameters, original or other ones, and you of course can delete images. Notice on the right side, this is our information. If you have it any put it in a prompt, it will display below. Okay, and you can see it was upscale 4 times. I select natural and landscape, creativity 0000, resemblance 1, just pop up a little bit on this and we'll go up. Okay, this is other images. You remember what I did before, and just to compare this image, you can see right here I have it 0 creativity, 0 everything. All of the settings was on the middle. And again, if you look on eyes with these settings, see, it's changed some of this view. Okay, I did experiment a little bit more, add a little bit more resemblance and reduce creativity, which improve on the eyes, but still slightly you can see how it's changed some effect. And right here where we increase our creativity to 7, a little bit more for AI to experiment around. So we start having problem with faces. To me at this point, I'm like, okay, so it's add details, but it's mixing. I don't see how it can be better than Gigapixel, because it is messing up with some of my attention. Well, let's give it a little bit more try. So right here is another image. Again, we saw that before, but this one, it's have creativity to 0, 0, 0 again. And you know, even with 0, you can see problem was on a face. Let's go next. And this is our other image, which I took it and I says, okay, let's make a big image shrink down and expand, so almost you cannot understand what is there. And I give it this to the Gigapixel. The Gigapixels did best it can with what is have, because it does not necessarily, it's have some AI, but it's more detection on the edge and other stuff, but it does not have some more AI generative engine inside of this. And here when we start to Magnific, that is become big different, because what's happening, it's analyzed image, says, okay, that is without prompt. Okay, that wasn't any prompt to this. It's analyzed and it's creating, and of course it's almost little bit different image from what original, but it is tried it best, and it's actually become from totally unusable image to something that you can use. So that is actually huge different. Okay, and that is giving me some hope to more experiment. I says, well, it's actually have a very good potential to this. And next I was deciding, let's see how it will perform with the faces. And right here you can see I did photography with these guys. They're very funny, nice guys. And look on this, he have it smirk, she have it kind of smirk as well. And that is what I tried to apply it, and look how his face changed. We add wrinkles, we add realism, but his smirk is gone. It's become total different person. At this point, I was almost want to give up on a Magnific. I'm seriously, I was like, well, what the, if it's changed completely my photography, if it's changed and replacing faces like his face, look on her. Her is become from something character to generic. You know, AI come with its own decision what is needed. So I look on this, I'm like, you know what, I don't think it's work, but I wasn't fair enough, because at this time I apply some settings 0, without understanding how application work. So next I says, well, you know what, let me go through and try to experiment with some settings with apply specific AI. So let's see what's happening. And this right here, you can see I applied some standard options for automatic. And let's look on face. Well, it's get little bit better. We have it preview face still about same here, so but slightly better. Okay, on this point I kind of give up on the portraits, but I was come back after I figure out more idea, and to better figure out, I was try to analyze how the all settings works. And here is idea take some work. This is created with a mid-journey, and you can see I have with a simplicity. Okay, I go, let's analyze this. Okay, it does not bad on vector cleaning. It's performed really impressive job on this. However, some like elements here get disappear, and mostly it is related if you increase your creativity, like creativity or allow flexibility for AI to figure out what it's wanted as you want it, and then it's become, you know, create something whatever think it's there. Okay, if we look more, we have 2D illustrations, HDR7, high definition, play a little bit more with the settings, and eventually I said, well, let's go all the way to the crazy, and all the way to the crazy where we have it creativity 9, HDR7, so just pop up everything to the top, and as a result you can see it is quite a bit different. The nice things when you start experimenting, be sure you're going from one edge to another to understand how maximum you can pull this app. And afterwards, with experimenting, I figure out that probably in this case is better if you want to keep it similarity, take creativity down like -8, and for illustrations HDR8, Resemblance 8, and details 9, and you can see it's actually did way better. I mean, it did magnificent job. Look, it's the same things, it's clear up like right there with beautiful job done. So all items look same. Okay, that is become better than Gigapixel because it did a great job. And of course, when we gone to these portraits now here, and I look on the faces, I says, okay, let me see how it will perform these faces. On this case, I'll select properly. I says, well, it's a film and photography. Let me select its photography effect. So how does it select from standard to photography was applying to the faces? Let's check. Look on this. The faces look with same expressions, much clearer, better. Oh, we add wedding. No, now also AI for some reason decide they need to be married. Okay, but anyway, it's add rings. But look on this, that become way better. So this is select properly model or proper effect did influence dramatically on what result we're getting. And that's why it says not understanding how it's work. I don't think it was very fair to the application without. Okay, and this was for me, it was like, oh wow, look, it's can done, and it did better job than Gigapixel. Okay, so right here another ones, and in this case we just increase same film photography, but we increase creativity to 6. And of course you can see how the face changing because we pop up creativity quite a bit. But I do like how the outfits and clothes come up, like, or Christmas decorations. I mean, they come up very good. Okay, and this one is our creativity 5, so we drop even way than before. If you remember, region was 0, so it says not this, but pop-up detailing and everything, and you can see this is perfect. It's removed some distortions right here, so it's fixed some of this, did not add the ring or anything, so but it is definitely rework image in a better ways. So it is sharpness, upscale, and everything. Okay, well, I says if it does this job, let's go verify how it will work with AI render. And AI render, for example, right here you can see this image created inside the Dall-e. This is actually Dall-e 3 image was created in. And if you can see the face, look how they distorted everything. Well, I'm decide to go and check film and photography because I have a very good with this on a faces. Creativity, HDR, resemblance, facility, just add 5 to the details. And let's look what's happening. Look on her face before and after. I mean, it did incredible job on a face restoration. That by itself, it is wow. Same with his face, before and after. You can see how it created great shape. Same on the background. Look on the background, those faces. I mean, just this, it was stunning result. Okay, before and after. This is what meaning when you find the right settings and understand how the applications which is performing better or what. Okay, next I was saying, okay, it's doing good. Let's test, how I said, on the different elements. What about the portraits? If we have a close-up portraits with notice DOF right here, some elements, and I just try like portraits high because this is a portrait. Let's see what's happening. Some results was kind of a little bit less expected. Let's look right here. We see his face, and let's go there. And oh, look at this. We have a nose face. That was funny to me. It was weirdly creepy face right here. You can see, but on his nose, that is, I think this is kind of interesting. I don't know. That look cool. Of course, you know, to fix it, all of this, all what we need, just reduce some of the elements here, and it's work better. But again, on the face, you can see have it some effects, so we'll need work just readjustment better. Okay, in this case, this we have it our portraits hard, creativity 000 on everything. And if we look, it did way better job. We don't have it this nose faces here, but it did some artifacts a little bit more on the DOF. You know, I did not find any good AI which can recognize this DOF, but it does very good job overall on upscale. Again, more experimental on the faces, which is did better job. But again, right here you can see artifacts add to DOF, and this is setting set soft portraits, so a little bit nicer, all the stuff. Okay, now this is me and my wife. This is from other channel, and I did it film photography. Try it, says okay, how will be if we have a teeny tiny image, and applied. And okay, this is my experiment was with the creativity 6. Okay, this is like nightmare-ish. Well, again, know your model, film photography, reduce creativity, resemblance, and perfect. I mean, this is very impressive in a way it's done. Well, if we have some options, you know, you see how it's increasing. This is playing with these faces, give me idea. Well, what if I want to create something more with this by upscaling? So right here you can see the image was created in a mid-journey. And I says, well, what about if I put it more creativity, HDR? And you can see it's actually did a very good job on upscaling. But you know, you can actually click right here and you can say reuse final image. So you can go over and add different iterations. So that's, I said, from this image, we upscale, let's go to next. And this was next. Look on this. This is when I pop up creativity, says, okay, let's see what AI can make for us. And it's actually created quite a bit interesting image. I think it's created more color. Yeah, AI and color come from HDR increasing. Well, why stop there? Let's do more. Okay, let's go right here and look on this. I love what it did. It's create this even image. This is kind of fun. Add this slugs and everything. Okay, well, what if we do try same on a photo? And here's my border collie. Sputnik, I like him. And we says, okay, let's go with creativity crazy, same what we did before. And you know, this image become disturbing. Look on that. We have a face right here on a tongue. You know, it's so weird. I cannot just stop watching this. I mean, seriously, it's just, I cannot stop seeing like right here, you see with his tongue, kind of, this is kind of weird. Look at that. Wow. The same if we look, I mean, seriously, it just like, it's weirdly good. I don't know what you can say. Of course, you know, if you set properly settings, you can see right here, we have it correct. And this is all what we need to reduce creativity to the 5. Same things was applied to upscale and try with the anime style or drawing style. And of course, try different with higher HDR. You can see how they add and clean up buildings. Okay, let's skip this. More on the landscape, and be sure you're using nature and landscape with creativity 0 and other things. And you can see right here, you remember I told you in the beginning, we'll look what HDR can does. And this is high HDR. You can see it's almost create this very HDR-ish image. But it did a very good job actually on the landscapes. When you create it, a little bit less HDR. Notice it does add some details in the cloud. So it's have its, this is a liberty of what details it's added. And you can constrain by creating reduced creativity in other ones. So you can have it very beautiful, nice upscale landscape here. Okay, this is my another image I was creating, and you can see upscale again, even more. Why stop when you can do more of this image? I just like how it's come up. It's kind of weird creature here. Sometimes more experimenting with creativity level and other things, and you can see this has become not bad. In this case, I was using Pixar booty, so you can put it in a prompt, and it's work actually very well when used with prompts. And it's before and after. Getting closer, skin look a little bit more plasticky. It's what I was going after. But you know, when you do this, be careful when you experiment, because some of them can be okay create on a face, but sometimes when you create it, you can lose your lips, or you can create even weirdly like faces or other things inside trees. Again, and this is all something weird here. See, like right here, you can create faces, and this is when you increase your creativity. So if you need it, be sure you like can have it portraits, but careful with creativity on the portraits, but general. Same, you can experiment a little bit more with additional, and after when I figure out, I think settings, the portraits become much better. And I will post these settings in the descriptions if you need it, so you can use it for some of your work. Of course, we can try experiment with more creativity in eyes, but well, some it's become ugly. You know, sometimes you just experiment and does not look like very good. Okay, let me show you other elements. Right here, it's when you put in AI, and this is a point I want to say: be careful when you're using blocking or other things, block creativity to the max, because like right here, you can achieve this blocking. You can see come up like elements blocking. It's sometimes getting even more visible when you do like right there. And this is happening when you have it creativity 10, so you put it to the max, and facility 9, and when you put to the 10 to the max, this is what happens. So you have it all these blocks that kind of does not link together, but at least it's give you idea how the system work. And system work by generating small elements and after combine. Sounds like somebody using SDXL model. Here is other options I need to beware of the using in some models. For example, right here I have a model, and look on a skin and applied, it did increase some skin, so it does not necessarily work very good for the beauty. You can see how the skin become more ugly, even using soft portraits and all the stuff. And sometimes if you put too much, again, you can have it blocking, and you can see it's become a little bit too distorted. So gentle approach, but it did increase in everything. The same things can apply when you use it too much, even not too much, but creativity, like right there in the model, and you can see it's for some reason decide to add hair here on the middle, and I think this could be easy resolved. I found incredible power when you have it bad faces, because you have it good restorations. Film photography, just look on these faces. This is totally warp bad faces. What it did, it's a beautifully restored these faces. Look on this. Look on these faces. I mean, it is did very good job. Same, some experiments done with the different, I run through different experiments trying to create settings and see how they work, they perform. In general, they perform very well. For example, in this few more I want to show you before we complete, and I tell you my thinking about this, who it's for and how it's work. Right here is the image. It's creating a mid-journey, and you can see with higher HDR add some details, well, but also add some what I don't want, like barrels for some reason turn to the animals, but beautiful done on this texture on the building. We could fix this by reducing some of creativity, and right here 5, if we reduce to 2, you can see it did preserve details, but it's add definitely way more definitions on details. And of course, if you are even reduce some HDR down, because I think it was a little bit too overdone, you can have a beautiful effect. Look on these details on this building. It's performed excellent to add upscale and add details. So this is what power of AI. I don't think the gigapixels can done this. Okay, so we have some other experiments was done overall, and of course our last one what I want to show right now, it is this tool is work perfectly if you want to do in the vector graphics. You can see how it's clean up before and after, so it did very good job. Now let's put it in conclusion. First, that is definitely it is probably more superior product in upscale than Gigapixels, Photoshop, or any other ones. Seriously, I think it is one of the best in this market because properly utilization of AI. It took a little bit time to get used to and know what settings you should use it there. But when I figure out this, it's become breeze to go over, to the point I just had fun with this. So I would recommend, but here's a but, big but. One things, what I don't like about this, when you save image, you can save only as JPEG. Doesn't matter how much you want a JPEG will have artifacts. I would like if I can save this as PNG or TFF file, something compressless, something that is originally and nice. So that will be nice adjustments. Next will be nice if we have it here, the image description or interrogation, when I can upload it and it's tell me what image it is. Next will be nice to have it also process for the batch processing. One, it's a powerful of the gigapixels. It's meaning if I do photography and I have several batches I want to process, will be nice if I can select more than one image and process batches. And it's too expensive. This is another. If seriously, if we look on this, and this is not just for unlimited, this is only how many credits and tokens you can use it. And trust me, you can burn so fast through these tokens, because if you go on higher, it's going up to 80 token per image to upscale on the max. So it's getting a little bit too expensive in this case. And bring back expensive, this is tell you to whom this is market. It's not market for everyday use. It does not market for hobbyists who try play every day. You can maybe take 1 month experiment and just play around, but generally it is a target on a professional. For me personally, how I'm going to use it is excellent tool if I receive image. Like I'm doing a lot of movie posters, okay? And in a movie poster, sometimes they send me screenshot from the field. So it's when they shoot on a field, they send me those screenshots from the film and says, okay, start building on that. Before, it's take time for me to upgrade this to the print quality, but with this tool, definitely it will work. Definitely I can put it in, upscale, add some details, and reuse that as in a production. So this is a huge, it's a targeted, it is a more professional tool for professional things. And when I say for the professional, it's meaning I can charge some of this cost back to my client, so I don't pay necessarily for the service, but my client used for this as part of processing, with some limitations. Because many of the ad agency require you to provide full workflow so they can replicate in case of they need it. And in this case, it will work if you provide what settings you're using here and service so they can repeat it and have it exactly the same result. This is kind of nice about this. So you can repetition. Would I recommend it? And will I say it's better tools? Yes, it is definitely magnificent tool. It is one of the superior to what I used before for upscale, not for everyday use, but it is surprisingly very good tool. Well, hopefully you find this review and video is good. Please check our videos when I did the review other one tools, other upscales, compare them closer with this. Hopefully you find this useful and nice. If you do, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and do all this blah 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 necessary for helping me keep it my video up in an algorithm on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate all your support. Thank you. Have a great time.